And welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be doing the mid-year refresh for my A6 agenda. So this one will be less of a refresh just because since I received it back from Mulberry through the warranty claim, I don't think there's anything that I need to update or refresh, especially with how I'm using it. So this will be more of a flip, but it's part of the mid-year refresh series, so we're gonna go with the consistency. All right, so A6 is new to me this year. I absolutely am in love with the size. I'm absolutely in love with this agenda. If you are new to my channel, then I actually purchased this for Christmas when I went on clearance. I don't think this is available on the website anymore, but I'll have it linked below just in case, and that way you can see all the other color options. But as well as everything else. I always have discount codes and links below, and I always forget to mention it, I feel like, or like mention it randomly. With that, as I mentioned, so I did a warranty claim, and so I have a full video on that and how the process went with dates, just in case y'all are curious and you have one. My rings were just not cutting it. I had too many issues with them. So far, no issues, knock on wood. It's been great, and I'm really happy that I went through the warranty exchange, because the last, like with the other rings in my first agenda that I received from them, they just were not, like, they were gapping so much, and like I could put nothing on the agenda, and it was just horrible. And so I've seen on different videos, and like from what I see on Instagram, it's hit or miss, and so I think that's why a lot of people are hesitant to use Mulberry. I still love the agenda overall, and I love that they fixed it, right? So that's something that's why I like purchasing, you know, the Louis Vuitton agendas and now Mulberry, because usually these brands have great warranty replacements. You're not like screwed, right? If you purchase them and something happens to them, they usually have a lifetime warranty, which is great. So yeah, with that, let's go ahead and jump right in. So this has been my overview agenda since I received it. It's been, I think, pretty much like a tactical planner, especially when I first got it, because you know when you first get a new planner, you're so excited. And so I'm also was experimenting with a new size, and again, love A6, and so totally new to A6 too. And I think what I learned with A6 is that I really like lists and just like fun, I shouldn't say fun, more like reference style inserts. And so this agenda will be my list and reference agenda, I feel like is what I'm going to call it. So not my tactical planner. This is going to be more of like a hybrid of what, if you've been following me for a bit, what you've seen with my medium ring agendas being, as well as my like A5 sometimes. Like, so halfway between like an overview and a reference agenda. And I think that's just how I really like it. So let me go through the entire flip and show y'all, and then we'll adjust any inserts as needed in this video. But again, I think with how this is set up, there's nothing like date specific really. And that's what I really like about it and wanted. So I have these, I believe these are the part of the heirloom collection from Cloth and Paper. No, the Spotlight collection. These are the dashboard. You would think with all these videos that I do, and since I talk about them all the time, I would know on the top of my head. Either way, so I have these tabs in my A6. I also have them in my A5. I wanted them for my half letter, but they weren't available. I'm gonna keep like eyeing them to see if I can get them for my half letter, because I'm obsessed with them, and I love that they're not titled, because for me, I move things around so frequently. It's really nice. You can, though, if you are one of those people who like have to have like the title, you can add labels, and then you can even add like what it is down here. But I personally move things around too much. We have a lot of Cloth and Paper dashboards in here just because I wanted to have fun with this planner. And then the first section is my inbox outbox. So this is the only inbox outbox system that I have in all of my planners. So that's one of the main reasons why this is going to be my reference and list, and kind of like, sorry, I'm an ex-marketing person, but like my evergreen planner, if you will. So it's going to be something that's always in my system, kind of like an overview where like I need to have this. And so my inbox is essentially anything like long-term, upcoming that needs to be planned out. I think one of the biggest things right now that I know I need to add, and we can do this live so y'all can see, is I recently started a new job within the past few months, and so I would need to transfer my 403B from my previous company, maybe to my new one or to a Roth IRA. I don't know, I haven't fully decided yet, and that's something that long term I need to figure out, maybe even short term I need to figure out. Either way, it's not something I'm going to do this week or right away, so I'm putting it in here. And then other examples are like, I need to get my real ID because we didn't get it when we moved from Texas to Washington because they have weird rules here, even though I had a real ID in Texas. That's an event that I go on every time I like provide that example. Sorry guys. Need to get a new passport, different things like that. And so again, these are more like things that just need to be done, right? And that way I can reference them. And then there's other things that I have on here that were like a little more immediate, like a new work planner, right? Like that was a little more time sensitive, but I still put it in here because it was something that I was working on. So we have that. And then that is my inbox. And then my outbox has changed a lot. So I am setting up a tactical planner. So I removed my cloth and paper weekly vertical inserts, I believe it's what it was called. So they're the quadrant ones, and I really did like those inserts. However, I really like the system that I have in the half letter, and so I decided to remove them. Everything is always subject to change on this channel, and I could bring them back at any point, right? Especially since I have been using those for lists, so it was easy to use those for like listing things out. However, I just liked that the half letter I could lay flat and use with my 8x5. With the ring, you know, you have your full like system, which is fine. But like, I don't know, just right now, I didn't want to use those inserts in here. So for my outbox, I just have my year at a glance calendar. So this is still something that I actively use. Typically plans come in here first. And so with my outbox, the things that I have in here to plan, this is where I can see, okay, I need to do this for free this weekend. I might be able to do this, and then I can plan it out. So this is the part where it's more of like a reference, right? So like, this is things that really need to be done. Here's when I can do it, and then I can go plan from there in my other planners. So that is my inbox and outbox system. Very simplified. And then the next tab is my tasks and to-do. So this is the bulk of my planner and where I spend most of my time, just because this is where all the fun is. So with tasks and to-dos, these are all dashboards from cloth and paper. And then I have these top tabs from Made Paper Co. that I really love because they're very thin, and then they're blank because again, I move things around. And so I added these just to kind of categorize my list, just because I don't like having things just roaming around and I have to search for them. So this is my like lifestyle-ish lists. So I have my order tracker here, and then I have things that I need to sell. So like luxury items that I need to sell. And then my like wardrobe wish list because I'm updating my wardrobe. And so all of this, right, goes into that lifestyle style category. And then the next section is my health section and wellness, I guess you can say. Oh, also with the inserts that I'm using, again, everything will be linked below that I can link, as well as discount codes. But I have the order tracker inserts, and then all of these inserts in here are pretty much the same, just used different ways, which is why I love them. So this is the double column insert from 8LOTUS, double column. I have the single column and then the master, which is 4. And so I have this tab here that I just keep extras just in case I want to start making lists for anything, because I'm just a list maker. Like, I'm a task-oriented person. Lists make sense to me, and so I really just like having these. It's another reason why I love 8LOTUS so much, because they have inserts for like literally every like list you can think of, right? Like the order tracker, expense tracker, habit trackers. And I love these because you can use them for so many different things. And so I just typically identify them with like an icon sticker right now, and I've just, again, been loving it. This is all of the hikes and trails that my husband and I want to do and that I started to write down. And then I believe this is still something that I'm working on. So I was going to make a list for workouts to do. And then this one, I was going to do something else that I can't remember on the top of my head. But I also just have spare inserts, right? So it's whatever I just want to write out and list. I have a meal insert one, and I don't know where I put it, but it was just like a go-to reference for all the meals that we do. Just in case I need a reminder of like, oh, that's right, we really like this recipe, let's do that. Because typically we get in a rut of like eating the same things. Either way. And then I added these inserts from cloth and paper. So I'm gonna use these for health and wellness. I think I'm gonna use one for like a weight tracker, a dinner tracker / meal tracker. I don't know, I haven't fully decided, which is why it's blank, but I have, I think, a month's worth in here. So yeah, 2 sheets, and that's how I intend on using that. And then as you all saw with this last tab, right now it's just a reference, but if I need to use it for, or like a storage for all the other inserts, if I want to have another category, then I'll update that and I'll make it that, and then we can just keep the archive back here with this like divider. But for right now, this is just the archive. So we have that. And then that is this section. And then also if I want to just have miscellaneous lists, I'll probably just use that for like this section for like miscellaneous lists until I create a new category. So that is the notes and lists. And then from there, it says meeting and notes. Really, this is just my project and notes section. So I have this Michelle Obama quote that came with the vertical weekly inserts. And then I have these project inserts from 8LOTUS. Again, just love all of their inserts. And so this is an overview of my dissertation. And so this is a nice planner that I like to have with me on the go because it's so small and it's so compact. And so when I go and study, it's a lot easier to carry this with than an A5, because an A6 is literally half of an A5. So if you take A5 and you fold it in half, I'm learning that I just like the larger sizes in half. It's A6, like a true A6. Sometimes personal rings, like personal size, can be confused for A6, especially on Amazon. So throwing that out there if you've seen that. But A6 is A5 in half. And so this is literally half the size, so easier to carry around than my A5. And then it's nice to like just rewrite. But I just have like keynotes in here for my dissertation. If you've seen my A5 update / video / in general, then you know like I have like detailed information in that one because that's where my academic section is. This is really just for me to essentially reference on the go. And then I have some extra project inserts in here because if I want to do a real project or a different type of project, then I'll put that in here. So we have that. And then I just have this intentional planning dashboard that I'm using as like a separator. And then I just have line notes from 8LOTUS again. And I like having note inserts in all of my planners because you never know when you just need like a scratch piece of paper or you just want to write something down, and it doesn't necessarily need to be list formatted, right? So I got these because like I had technically that, but I want to use these for lists. And if there's like something that I just need a note, then I don't want to have a full list insert for it. So I just have general note inserts back here. And then that is this planner. So it is very simple and to the point, which I really love. And it makes sense. So I think that's something that if you're going to use multiple planners, is one of my like key takeaways, is to ensure that each one has a purpose and you overlap what you need to overlap. So for example, everything that's on this will be in all my other planners, right? But everything else won't necessarily overlap, it'll complement, right? So my inbox as well is something like where I'll plan things out, but like the order trackers and things like that, like I might mark a delivery, but like in one of my other planners, especially if I'm like waiting to make content on it. But for the most part, I won't do that for everything, like if I order clothes and stuff like that. So things to keep in mind. And then same with like the reference, like the sellings and stuff, right? Like this stuff will not be in my other planners. It'll stay in here because this is the intent of this planner. So yeah, that is my A6 agenda and how it works in my planner. I'll go more into that in the planner system update on like how this works specifically with the other planners. I like to do breakdowns, especially since I know it can be overwhelming to have multiple planners. To me, it would be overwhelming to have one planner and trying to fit everything I need into it, because I like being able to break things down and take things apart. And then also if I want to only look at one thing, I think that's the main reason why I like using multiple planners, because I can separate, like, right, because this is a lot of information, and if I don't need it, I don't need it, and I could get overwhelmed if I'm not using it frequently, right? So having this just be some place dedicated to writing things down, making notes, making lists is nice, because then I'm not overwhelmed, because if I need it, I have it, but if I don't need it, then it's out of sight, out of mind. So yeah, other than that, that is the flip, and that is going to be it for this video. If you all have any questions, please feel free to let me know, and thank you guys so much for watching.